Then this principle here, he basically takes some famous Catholics and he calls them out and he says, these ones are terrible. And then he calls out some other and says, these ones are really good. And he calls them by name. So listen to this. He says, you are aware that all who were in Asia turned away from me, and among them Phygellus and Hermogenes. So those are the bad ones. He's calling them out. And may the Lord also, but here's the good ones, may the Lord grant mercy to the household of Onesiphorus, for he often refreshed me, and he was not ashamed of my chains. But when he arrived in Rome, he searched for me eagerly and found me. And may the Lord grant him to find mercy from the Lord on that day. And you well know all the service he rendered at Ephesus. So I'm not necessarily doing this today, but just know that the biblical principle is if there's famous people out there or well-known people and they're claiming to be Catholic and they're not, and they're disobeying church teaching and they're bad examples, the biblical model is call them out publicly and say, hey, you are not an actual Catholic. You are outside of what you're doing things that are not Catholic. You are not a Catholic. That's fine to do that, right? And then it's also fine to say, hey, these guys they're Catholic and they're doing great stuff and their ministry is great, and get involved with them or listen to their teachings or whatever it may be. So just know that both and are part of being Catholic, okay? So, all right.